Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. On today's program, we're going to spend some time with the Suffolk Parks and Recreation Department. We're going to highlight the upcoming Teen Summit, as well as talk about some of the programs that you can register for, both currently and in the very near future. That includes before and after school care, as well as youth sports programs. Stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're here today to talk about a very special topic, and we have two very special guests to help us with that. Their t-shirts, of course, show you exactly what we're talking about, and to do that, we're talking about the 4th Annual Teen Summit. And to join us to cover the topic today, we have Lakita Watson, who is the Director of our Parks and Recreation Department, and Rakita Fafana, who is the Youth Outreach Coordinator, again with Suffolk Parks and Rec. Ladies, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
We say Teen Summit. I know this is the 4th one, but again, let's talk about it for someone who doesn't know anything about it. What is the Teen Summit's objective? What are we trying to accomplish with this event, which again has really grown and again has really 2 days, but we'll talk about each day individually. So who wants to go first talking about what the event's all about? Rakita?
I would say the first objective would be to empower our youth. We provide them with topics that cover everything that they may face, whether it be helping them in school, after school, their home life. And then we've added a component where we've allowed the parents and also the adult facilitators that work with them to get information to help them work with them, learning things that they may not know to reach the youth.
Right. So again, some very powerful messages coming out here and a very impactful event. And the beauty of it is it's right before school starts. So again, if you need a little extra motivation before that first day of school, the bell rings and we get going, this is a really good way to kind of guide yourself right into the school year coming up. Lakita, just your thoughts about sort of the objective and the purpose and the role this event plays in the lives of our teens and care providers in our city?
Definitely. The age group that we are targeting is that 11 to 18-year-old that's still enrolled in high school. So it's our middle and our high school students. And recognizing the importance of this transitional period in their lives as they're going through middle school and going through high school and having to make decisions about their future. So the purpose of this event, as Mrs. Fafana indicated, is to provide them with the resources and the information to help empower them in order to be successful in their school life and their after school life. It's also important for us to expose parents to this information about social media, about the relationship building and the communication. As parents, we find it's sometimes difficult to communicate with them at this level now with all the jargon and with the access to technology that they have. So we look at Teen Summit as an opportunity for individuals that work with youth, for parents, and then for youth to come together on one accord. This year's theme is respect. And our focus is on helping individuals understand what is respect, how to give it, how to get it, and why it's important in order for you to be successful in your life.
I mean, you touched on a very interesting topic there. You talked about social media, but really you talk about the electronic age or the age we're in as far as information and how it's shared. And the fact that social media, you know, certainly has a great purpose and everything, but sometimes young people don't realize the impact it can have, and the fact that, you know, if you put something out there, it's out there.
Yes.
And I think that's the message both for the teen, him or herself, as well as the parent or the care provider, because realizing that if they're doing that, they're on social media, which I think most everybody is to some level, the fact of the importance and the power that it can have, both in a positive and unfortunately sometimes in a negative way.
Yes, and the Commonwealth Attorney's Office is going to be there with us.
Good.
We're really excited about them. They're going to be doing a joint session with the adults as well as with the youth to talk about some of the ramifications.
Right.
I think that a lot of times they think that, hey, I posted it, it's gone. No, it's never completely deleted. So we're looking at that session as an opportunity to educate the parents as well as the youth on what to post, what not to post, and as well as the ramifications of the things that you post and how that can have a long-term effect on your life. So we're excited about having them on site to answer questions. All the sessions are interactive.
Sure.
So it's not just someone standing there talking to you and telling you what you should or should not do.
Correct.
It's a conversation.
Right.
And we have to do that with our young people. We have to talk and we have to make sure that we're sharing with them those things that we've learned, even though sometimes they don't want to listen to it. It is important for us to at least offer that opportunity.
Yes. And I think one of the words that I've heard you and some of your staff throw around when it comes to the dynamic. And I think that's the thing, the fact, like you said, it's not just someone talking at you, it's someone talking with you. And the fact there is some interactivity, which I think is important because, again, as a teenager, we all were there one day, or we have children of our own. You think about the fact that the message they want to get across, and I think that's an opportunity for them to be able to do that.
Definitely. And we're kicking off with a block party on that Friday, and I'll let Rakita share with you some of that.
The block party, it'll be at Kings Fork Rec Center, which is located behind the middle school.
Okay.
We're going to go from 6 to 9. It's going to be fun-filled, open to the whole family, not just participants. So we'll have something for everybody. We're going to actually have 103 Jams, Dominique the Diva.
Very nice.
She's going to be on scene. We'll have a DJ, prizes, giveaways, lots of fun for everybody.
So again, a good way to kind of build the spirit for what's going to happen the next day. Now, we haven't talked about registration, so let's talk about registration. Now, the block party, you don't need to register for that, correct? Okay. So for the event itself, the summit, which is on the Saturday, obviously pre-registration is possible, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and highly encouraged.
Okay, yes. Because again, you want to make sure you have the resources there for there. But also, can you register at the block party and maybe even the day of, even though, again, you want to kind of push the pre-registration? How is that working?
Yes, if we still have spaces available, we will have registration forms at the block party. As we shared, we would prefer that you pre-register so we can make sure we're prepared for you. And you can do that online following the Suffolk webpage to the Parks and Rec page, suffolkva.us/parks/, and you're able to register right then. And the first, I think it's about 100 individuals actually get T-shirts.
Okay.
So lovely T-shirt so that you can represent, and it gives us the opportunity for photo ops and things for that Saturday morning. So we pass those out actually on Friday. We're encouraging parents to get out, register your children, come out with them. Don't just drop them off. Time doesn't wait for any of us, and we think that the main purpose of this event is to be that connector between the parents, the adults, and the youth. So registration is free.
Okay.
It's open to the public.
Right.
You get a free, awesome after-party lunch that is a part of this, and we're just very thankful for the opportunity to work with so many organizations that will be on site with us providing the services.
Very nice. Well, we talked about the block party, and you talked about the fact it's free to register for the Teen Summit itself. But what's going to happen on the Saturday? How is that day kind of broken up and structured in there? And do the participants have some choice? Maybe there's a couple of different sessions going on so they can kind of look at the menu of offerings. How is that going to work this year?
Yes. The day is broken into several sessions. There's what we call an adult track, and then there's a youth track, because we felt that the youth open up more when they don't have to look over and see mom or dad sitting in the same room. So we've chose to separate them, but there are different tracks that go on all throughout the day. So they will have the option to move around a little from room to room and visit different sessions. It could be based on gender, it could be based on age, just depending on where they are, whether middle school or high school. But yes, there will be lots of options for everybody to go to.
Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was about to say we're excited this year. We're going to do a second joint session about paying for college. A lot of times individuals think that, I can't afford to go, but there are so many options and resources available, and we have a session focused just on that with the parents along with the students, and it's very interactive. They'll be able to go online. They'll understand how to fill out the financial aid forms, and as you shared, we're going right back into school. So we're setting them up to go from this session to go into that school and understand this is the GPA that's needed, looking at this is the financial aid that's available. So those are the types of things that we really want to focus on, is how to equip them so that they can be successful in life. And the sessions are around community service, as we share social media. We have a session on healthy dating and relationships. It's that age, so you have to deal with it, and you have to talk about it. So we want to provide parents with the lingo and how to start that conversation. Sessions for everyone, as Rakita shared.
Very nice. Again, a very encompassing thing, both certainly for the teen, which is the individual we want to get there, but also, as you said, for the parent or the care provider, because of the fact that it takes two to tango, so to speak,
Definitely.
and have everybody on the same page is really the big push we want to have here. Now, we talked about I should say we haven't talked about the location. Now, you said that the block party is going to be at the Joint Rec Center that's behind Kings Fork Middle, but the event itself on Saturday is going to be at?
The Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts, 110 Spinney Avenue. We'll be looking for everybody to be there.
Yes.
And again, a great facility that you have a lot of resources there that you can tap into and kind of break those things out like you talked about. Now, what is exactly the time frame on Saturday?
8 a.m. Come on in, get
Okay.
registered. Sessions will start about 8:45. Then we'll run the consecutive sessions up until about 12:30. Then we'll all come back together for a panel discussion where we'll have individuals from the different sessions, where parents that didn't get to go to a particular session actually still gets to get the information and ask questions directly of the professionals that'll be on staff. And then from there, we'll go to our block party, our closeout party, excuse me, what we call the after party. Well, we will be whipping the nay-nay and dance contest and music, just fun, just good, clean family fun, and preparing our young people to go back to school.
Perfect. And again, the best thing is it's free.
It's free.
Now, you talked about the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office is going to be a part of this. What are some of the other organizations that are playing a role in this event, both either as a sponsor, as a participant, or both?
We have the American Cancer Society. They will be providing sessions this year on community service and the importance of it. As we do know, that is a mandate for Suffolk Public Schools for young people to complete community service hours, so they'll be there talking about opportunities to do so. As we shared, we'll also have the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, the Suffolk Police Department. We've asked them to come and do a session this year. They've done a session every year, but this year focusing on interaction and how to have an effective, positive relationship with our public safety officials. We just had a very successful National Night Out, so we're looking to continue to build off of that momentum and creating that community feel with our police officers, our parents, and our youth. There'll also be individuals from the school system that'll be there doing sessions on self-esteem, as well as the financial aid piece. I was really excited. I shared with Rakita earlier that they have so many adults that are ready, willing, and able to come out and share information about jobs. That's very important. Our young people need to know about what it's going to take to get into the workforce. So our very own Workforce Development Center is going to be there offering sessions for our young people as well as our adults, talking about the resources that are available.
And the great thing is a lot of the resources you noted are city government resources that are there regardless of whether you're going to the summit or not, but certainly this is a great way to tap into it, get some general or ask specific question information, and then find out, look, I need to pursue a little bit more about this, and you can continue to partner with them and work moving forward. So a great event. Again, the dates are?
August 28th is our block party, Kings Fork Middle School, and then our summit will be on August 29th at the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts.
Now, if someone watching this program would like more information, want to talk to somebody maybe right before they decide to go and register, or maybe they've already registered, just want to get a little more information, who should they contact, and is there a good phone number for that?
514-7250 is the main office for Parks and Recreation. And feel free to visit us on the website. You can shoot us an email to our Parks email, and we'll be ready to assist you in finalizing that registration.
Okay, good deal. Well, Rakita and Lakita, thank you both for being with us to talk about the Teen Summit coming up very soon. Again, you have the block party on Friday night, the Teen Summit on Saturday, two great events here in the city of Suffolk. So we're going to have more information from Suffolk Parks and Recreation when we return after this short break. Thanks for joining us for the second half of On the Scene, joined again by Lakita Watson, our Director of Parks and Recreation. And you know, we were talking about the Teen Summit in the first segment, and of course the connection between that and going into the new school year. Well, staying kind of on the school topic of sorts, Parks and Recreation offers a variety of resources and activities and events. But one thing you may not realize that they do offer is before and after school care at some of the elementary schools and in some of the other. So, Lakita, if you want to talk a little bit about that program, what the resources are related to that, and the fact that registration is already underway.
Yes, the department has been offering before and after school programs for a number of years, but we're glad to say that we've been able to expand, especially with the changing of the school schedules. We felt it was very important to provide that service to parents. So we have before care, which starts before school at various joint use facilities. And when we talk about joint use facilities, we're meaning those facilities that are shared with Suffolk Public Schools. There are a certain number of them that are under the purview of Parks and Recreation before school and then after school. So those schools are Oakland Elementary, Northern Shores, Booker T, Mac Ben, Creekside. Those are our before and after school sites. Parents can sign their children up, drop them off at 6:30 in the morning. We make sure that the children then go over to their classrooms, and then the aftercare starts promptly after school. There is limited transportation provided through Suffolk Public Schools to and from some of those schools that we're not in.
Right.
So there is transportation from Nansman Parkway to McBen. There's transportation from Hill Point and Kilby Shores and Elephants Fork to Booker T. So we try to make it as convenient as possible for parents. It is very important for us as parents. You know, we go to work, so we want a safe place for our young people to go, and that's what Parks and Recreation Kids Zone provides our parents.
Now, what are some of the things that are offered through the Kids Zone program that we're talking about? Because they're not just sitting there. Now, certainly they have an opportunity to do their homework if they want to do that, but also there are activities that go on in relationship to the program itself, right?
Yes. We have been working very diligently at looking at the benefits of before and after care and what components best work and best practices. So what we found is that, of course, health and wellness, we have opportunities for our young people to run, play, and be active, which is very important, especially in a time where the obesity rates for our young people is consistently growing. So yes, your children will run, play, group games, and have a really good time. Also arts and crafts, the opportunity to be creative, and then music and dance is also incorporated. And this year we will be introducing some science and technology in our after-school programs. And it's always great for the homework assistants. I truly appreciate it.
So it sounds like you're working the brain as well as the body with these programs that you have in there. Now again, registration's already underway.
You can do it at any of our joint use facilities that I just listed, as well as coming down to the main office at 134 South 6th Street, located right beside the East Suffolk Recreation Center, and we can do your registration there as well.
And again, I'm sure you would encourage people to do that sooner rather than later because you have limited space at all the sites, and once it's full, right?
Yes, we do have limited space, and then we also have a program that we call All In, and that is a fee reduction program, and you have to meet certain income requirements in order for you to qualify, but I don't want anyone to be feeling as if they're going to be turned away because of the fees. Our fees are very affordable, and you can find out more about our fees and things online at our website, but I do encourage parents to ask about the all-in, and that allows us to provide a discounted rate for students to ensure that they have accessibility to our programs.
Okay, good deal. Well, again, a great resource there. And again, check out the website or place a call to the main office if you'd like more information. Or as you said, you can go actually to the joint use facilities themselves and to handle the registration or if you have any questions.
And Tim, I just want to share that a lot of times we think as parents, well, you know what, I could just send them home. And of course you can. We have that choice. But what I've learned personally, even with my son who had been in the program, participating in after school and before care programs really helps with the socialization of young people. It encourages them to make new friends and to build teams, and those are lifelong relationships that they'll continue to have throughout. So I encourage parents to sign their kids up for before and after care.
Very good, great message right there, and a good reason to go and get participating in that program. And speaking of programs, certainly we have the before and after school programs that we talked about, but another thing that comes up in the fall, athletic programs that offer through Parks and Recreation. Now the registration for that, I believe you said, starts September the 1st.
Yes.
But what programs are we talking about that people could register starting September 1st?
Well, you can register for what we have called indoor soccer. It's just a smaller field that we create in the gym. The indoor soccer program is a very good program. We start our young people as early as 4 and all the way up to juniors, which is 15, 16 years old. And then we have basketball, and then we have cheerleading. And these are award-winning programs, I would like to add. We did receive a national award last year for our LIL program, which encourages young people that early age 4 to 5 to participate in sports. So we encourage parents to come out and get their kids registered. I know it's football season, you know? So it's like, Lakita, you're throwing so much at us at once. No, we just want to make sure that we keep our young people busy. So as soon as the football season is over, they can roll right into our indoor sports programs. Even though registration starts in September, the actual league does not start until December. So it will not overlap with any other sports that children are currently participating in.
So filling that gap there between seasons or whatever, and again, it's during the winter. You're talking about mostly indoor activities, certainly. Of course, you're talking about the indoor soccer. So again, if it's cold outside, it'll be nice and toasty on the inside when your child is going out there participating in these events.
Yes.
Now, to register for these, once registration opens at September 1st, can they go online to do that? Or?
Yes, September 1st kicks off our online registration. Then that weekend and during the week, you can register at any of those joint use facilities, as well as as East Suffolk Recreation Center,
Perfect.
Wellerville Community Center, and at the main office. And we are really excited about having the Wellerville facility open this year for our youth sports. So I encourage my Southern citizens to come out and get your children registered for the program. Suffolk is a huge place, but it gives us the opportunity to provide an activity in a community that we haven't been in many, many years. Youth sports, I go back to the importance of it. It's not just that we want you to come out and register, but building teams, keeping kids active and healthy, sportsmanship, learning good sportsmanship, and the learning how to interact with individuals from different places in order to accomplish one goal. I've learned that participating in sports all of my life, even as a little young person, it has definitely poured into me as a professional. So I encourage parents, you know, to get the kids out there. If they haven't done a sport before, this is a perfect opportunity. There are beginning levels. There's mandatory play. So there is no select play in what we do. Everyone gets to play, and we want to be that feeder program so that we can get them from recreation to middle school sports, high school, and hopefully collegiate.
There you go. Get a building program right there. Now, one thing that's very important when you talk about sports programs, or really most programs in general, volunteers.
Yes, Tim.
And you want to talk about volunteers in your pitch as far as to get people to get out there to participate and help with that part of it, really to help your community and help the young people we have here.
We need you. Volunteers are integral to the overall program. Without volunteers, we would not have our sports programs. And we are so thankful for those coaches that come back every year. But we always need more. So I encourage parents to come out. It's one thing to register your child, but you know, we do need coaches. We need not only head coaches, you can be an assistant coach as well. We have certified coaches, so you'll receive training. We won't just bring you in and drop you in off at the gym. You'll actually go through training. All of our coaches do receive an extensive background check as well, so parents know that their children are safe with the individuals that we're entrusting them with. Coaches play a vital part in helping build the character of young people because they serve as mentors, not just on the court, but off the court. I still have wonderful relationships with those coaches that coach me in the Old Birdsong Rec Center. So, and I still coach. I've been coaching for years. I never was a cheerleader in high school, but I got certified, so I certified cheerleading coach, and I encourage adults to get out. Even if you don't have children and you just want to give back to the community, this is the perfect way.
And again, you talk about the fact that relationships with coaches, you talk about, it's like relationships with teachers. You know, when you think back on your childhood, you might not remember specific instances, but you remember the people that helped get you from there to where you are as you know, hopefully a functioning adult out in society. But again, these are the folks that help mold you and guide you along with your parents and care providers and family and everybody. It you know, takes a village to raise a child, and I think we're proving it within the community.
It still takes a village. We cannot lose sight on just what's happening in one community or in one house. Together we're one Suffolk. So it's important for us to, one of City Council's goals is community engagement, and that's what volunteerism is.
Very nice. So again, Lakita, a great message there to get people involved in the program, whether you're registering your child, whether you're going to be out there and become a volunteer. And I think that's a great way to build this community and keep our Suffolk growing and improving. And again, thanks to you and your staff for everything you do for Parks and Recreation, because it's not just athletics. It is before and after school programs. It's the Teen Summit. It's everything. But again, the men and women of your department do a great job in helping make Suffolk such a special place to be.
Well, thank you, Tim. It's an honor to serve.
Thank you very much. And that would do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.